Oranges and Cufflinks, a Marvel fanfiction written on Area 3 by S_Wags. The link for this fanfiction will be in the description box below, so I encourage you all to go check it out. The Avengers common room was quiet on Christmas morning, just the crackling of fire in the fireplace and the twinkling of lights on a Christmas tree. The snow outside and the glass in the window reflected the rising sun and the ornaments on the large Christmas tree, almost glowing in between the multicolored lights. The Avengers were sprawled out along the room in their pajamas, curled up on cozy blankets, warm socks as they traded Christmas presents back and forth. "All right, Peter's turn," Tony said, as he sat beside the present he just unwrapped. "Yay! Oh, okay, wait a second," Peter said, jumping up from his place next to Tony and rushing out of the room, only to return later with a big red sack laden with gifts and a Santa hat atop his head. The Avengers quickly suppressed giggles at the sight. Peter tossed the bag down in the middle of the circle and flung himself back onto the couch. "Okay, first gift, Clint," Peter said, digging around in the small bag, pulling out 2 small square gifts and handing them across to Clint. Clint ripped the paper off and pulled the top out of the small box. Inside the box were 2 short purple cords attached to a clip with the Hawkeye symbol on it. Clint's face visibly shifted from excited to confused. Thanks, but what is it?" Peter laughed. "It's a hearing aid clip. You attach the cords to your hearing aids and then click it to the back of your shirt. That way, if the hearing aids fall out, you won't lose them," Peter explained. "A kid at my school has them." The Avengers, Clint in particular, looked at Peter in surprise. "Thank you, Pete," Clint responded earnestly. Peter grinned happily, shoving his hand back into the bag. He pulled out a slim, black and red package, handing it to Natasha. She took it carefully. Unlike Clint, who ripped the whole wrapping off paper in one swift motion, Natasha pulled it apart by the tape's creases, keeping the paper more or less so intact. Once the paper was off, she flipped over the small book to reveal a Black Widow-style journal. She didn't respond for several moments, just staring at the journal and flipping through the empty pages. Peter started to fidget, worried that she wouldn't like it. "You're just so closed off all the time," he started to stammer. "I just thought it's not good to keep everything bottled up, and I thought you might want to tell us, but maybe you could, tell yourself." "Thank you," she said. She reached over and gave him a one-armed hug, a smile stretching across his face. "You're welcome," Peter responded, before shoving his hand back into the bag. He dug around excitedly before pulling out a slim rectangular gift wrapped in Santa paper. He tossed it at Sam, who hastily caught it. Sam ripped over the paper excitedly and gasped. "Crash Team Racing Ultra Field? No way. I love you, little man." "I'm gonna kick your ass at that," Clint challenged, and laughter erupted across the room. "You're on, Birdbrain," Sam responded. "Who you're calling Birdbrain, Featherface?" Okay, let's save that for later. It's Thor's turn," Peter said, tossing a wrapped gift package at Thor. Thor tore off the paper with great vigor and let out a booming laugh when he saw the title of the book. Thor flipped it open to show "The Internet for Dummies" on the cover, causing everyone to burst out laughing. "Now you can know the ins and outs of technology," Peter chuckled. "Thank you, Mound of Spiders," he boomed, pulling Peter into a bone-crushing hug. "This is much appreciated." When Thor released him, Peter collapsed back onto the couch. He pulled out the next gift, an almost paper-thin package, and tossed it to Bucky, who gingerly tore the paper off, and a confused expression crossed his face. "What is it?" he asked, flipping over the thin cardboard. "They're decals," Peter chuckled. "For your arm. See, normally they're for laptops, video game consoles, cell phones, that kind of thing. But they should work the same for your arm. Now you can customize it. Here's Captain America's symbol, the Avengers, Black Widow. They come off easily too." "Thank you," he responded, with a small smile, ripping the cardboard open, taking out the Captain America decal and slapping it on his metal bicep. "Next, Dr. Banner," Peter said with a small smile, pulling out his next gift. Bruce carefully unwrapped the small package, lifting out the box to look at it. "A desk fountain," he said, with a small smile. "Yeah, I figured calming white noise, keeping the stress down, helps me during finals." "Thank you, Peter." "All right, Tony, you next," exclaimed Peter, turning to Tony and practically bouncing out of his seat. He handed Tony a small box with a blue bow. "If it's a gag gift, you're grounded, kid," he said as he took the top off. Inside the box were 2 glowing pins. "They're reactor cufflinks," Peter said excitedly, bouncing up and down. "Where the hell did you find these?" Internet, Peter shrugged. Thanks, kiddo, Tony said, as he pulled Peter into a fatherly hug. Okay, well, last but certainly not least, Steve, Peter said when he was released. He reached into the empty bag and pulled out an orange? An orange, Clint questioned, as Steve took the fruit, completely speechless as a wave of nostalgia rushed through him. Yeah, well, a little back while in history class, we learned that during the Depression, they gave an orange as a Christmas gift, so I thought this might remind you of your youth or whatnot. Steve tugged Peter into a two-armed bone-crushing hug, tears leaking out of his eyes. It's the best gift anyone could have gotten me. Thank you, Peter. You're welcome, Steve. As Steve peeled the fruit, the room was filled with an orange tang. He shared his orange with everyone, giving each Avenger a slice, starting with Peter.